Joining us now from Virginia is Democratic Congresswoman Jennifer McClellan. Congresswoman, thank you for your time. I want to start with your reaction to what you heard from Congressman Zinke about the budget process. Where do you see things right now in Congress?
Well, I think right now this budget is going to make the tax cuts permanent on the backs of millions of Americans losing their health care and millions of Americans losing access to SNAP benefits. And the one area I vehemently disagree with my colleague on is on the work requirements, because states that have put work requirements in place have found that the administrative cost is higher than the savings. Arkansas was struck down by the courts after hundreds of thousands of people who were eligible for Medicaid were kicked off, not because they weren't working, but because they couldn't follow cumbersome paperwork requirements to prove that they were working. Georgia, who has work requirements in place, has seen the same thing. And in Virginia, when we expanded Medicaid, we looked at work requirements and found they were more trouble than it's worth. And right now, if Virginia had to implement work requirements, it has no system in place to do that. The administrative cost to create and run that system would eat up any alleged savings that Virginia would get. But the reason that the states expanded Medicaid was because the uninsured still get sick, and the uninsured wait until they have to go to the emergency room when it's much more expensive to treat, and it raised costs for everybody else. So the state's incentive to expand Medicaid was the fact that it brought down healthcare costs, that it kept rural hospitals from closing their doors. And my state and a number of other states that expanded Medicaid are very worried that this budget will unwind all of that, jack up the uninsured, at least 13.7 million people who will become uninsured under this bill, and those costs will be passed on to every other American in their health care costs.
Okay, turning to that trip overseas, we're hearing some anxiety on the right now about some of the moves that President Trump made on the trip. You heard Congressman Zinke talk about acknowledging Syria and lifting sanctions there. That makes Israel a little nervous, and that makes some on the right anxious, and potential détente with Iran. Former national security aide to President Obama, Ben Rhodes, said this: "It's so clearly the right decision. I don't know why Joe Biden didn't do this. Sometimes you just have to try something different." There is a lot of understandable criticism from Democrats about some of the president's priorities, but Trump is doing some things that neither President Biden nor President Obama would have tried because of the blowback from Israel and the right. Is that true? Is there truth in that?
I would say yes, this president is trying things that other presidents wouldn't, and not all of it is good. I would say that in going in, and in the case of Ukraine and in Gaza and Israel, victimizing even further the victim and bullying the victim in the case of Ukraine into submitting in negotiations rather than bullying the oppressor is something that many presidents would not do. And I'll tell you what no other president would have done is violate the emollients clause of the Constitution and take a $400 million plane from a foreign government that is illegal, and even my Republican colleagues are very concerned about.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.